IPMNation.com.
Good evening once again. Thank you for joining us in what I am now going to call a well-oiled machine. Yeah, but you got to know, this may very well, in 412 episodes, this may very well be the first time I actually hit all the buttons right. I bet if you ask Wayne, he'll tell you it's the first time I hit all the buttons right. Good evening. Either a dead end until you and I decide to ultimately tap out. But until that point, we're going to put our heart's highest priority top of the list. That's all we're talking about. We're always calling on the true wit and wisdom and wallop of your inner whisper. And that's a good thing, I believe, because we are here just in time to out-brutal the brutal that is the cut and shuffle that fate can deal you on a daily basis, and to bring your own bold once and for all. Before we hit it this evening, a quick hello to my friends here in the States, and for those joining us from all over the globe. It's great to have you with us. I truly am fired up. Yes, you might be saying, oh, is that a sound effect of a sump pump? Yes, it is. I'm truly fired up to be driving your bandwagon, to be avidly you, to be your biggest fan, your virtual hitchhiker if you're out and about and on the go. You know by now, I love riding shotgun, always have. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity right now for the next 30 minutes to mortal up, to crush your cant and your critics, to demand your mind's eye and your true potential live wide open, absolutely wide open, full throttle. What do you say? Let's go kick in some doors. And yes, as I mentioned, the very balmy weather that we're having here in the Columbus area, as many of you know, if you've watched the show for any period of time, we rebuilt the basement to accommodate our studio. And one of the things that you can hear from time to time, right, even though we've tried to knock out all the different things that you could actually get picked up on these microphones, the sump pump, yeah, you just don't want to unplug that, especially, right? It's rained here for like 2 days in a row now, 100% rain, torrents, thunderstorms, just a regular old dumping. So if you hear the sound effect, you're going to go, Brad, that sounds so realistic. Yeah, it's because it really is a sump pump going off in the background. Scared the crap out of me last night when I first heard it. I go, what is that? What sound effect button did I just hit? Sound like a combination of a toilet flush, right, and a really high-pitched monkey chatter. And no, that's not a dog whistle for Lee and any pictures of monkeys he might text in. Oh, and if you're hanging out with us tonight, you may not know about this. If you're with us for the first time, you can call us at 833-MIND-UPS. That's 833-646-3877. Of course, it's toll free. But you can also text us at that number as well, 833-MIND-UPS. If you really just want to spell in MIND-UPS, you can text it right in, or you can call it to dial the regular number, and it will get you right in as well. So we've got that going for me. Let me jump over into the thread and say hello to everyone. To Lee, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you here in a little bit, brother. Patricia Costello, nice to see you. Good evening, my friend. And everyone that has come to Mortal Up. Patricia, I couldn't have written a better tagline myself. Thank you so very much. Kathy, nice to see you. Sarah, thanks so much for... Yes, it is a little bit of a birthday celebration around here, Sarah. Thank you very much. Marcellus, nice to see you, brother. Wayne, hello, everyone. And to Wayne, you know, Wayne's working really hard. Wayne is the brains and the backbone, thank goodness, behind Counterpunch Media, the new home of All Natural Being, of Thinking Re-Envisioned, with the incomparable Henry Noel, of course, A Copy That Speaks with Lee Rowley, Sneak Speak with Matt Connerton, all kinds of the different things that we have going on now here on Counterpunch Media. Wayne's been working really hard. So you may get an invite, or you may see popping up over on Facebook, oh, Counterpunch Media, what's that all about? And just so you know, that'll be the home of not just this program, but all the other programming that we'll be adding on. So, Wayne, thank you very much. Thank you so very much, sir. I appreciate that. Jamie, nice to see you. Kelly, nice to see you as well. Tim Creasy, thanks. You know, Tim, every time you put up some of these pictures, I wanted to talk about this. You put up some of these pictures on Facebook, my mouth just starts to water. Man, you know what it's like. You know what real sushi is like. So thank you for that. It always makes me hungry. So I time when I'm going to look at your messages to make sure it's somewhere around mealtime. Heather, nice to see you. Hope everything's going on. If I remember, Heather in Oregon, hope everything's going on and cooperating with the weather out by you. Darren, nice to see you as always. Shane, belated happy birthday. Thank you very much. Shane, you said something to me today that made me laugh right away, and I'm sorry I don't remember it right now, but we talked about on Facebook that life's a piñata, and do you have the courage to take a nice healthy swing of the stick? And Shane said he finds himself being the piñata more times than the stick. And I thought, yeah, right, Shane, because like me, I'm sure you have a sweet, chewy center. Yeah, so there you go. Heather, hey, Brian and friends. Thank you, Heather, very much. Nice to see you. Tim, food. Yeah, Tim, your stuff always makes my mouth water. I will say that for sure. All right, we wanted to get to this briefly this evening. And also a special thank you to Matt Connerton for putting together the new countdown clock over on IPMNation.com. But as you know, we're going to be going for the official Guinness World Record attempt. And here's what I'd love to, if I could, get your opinion as to how we can reach out to get other folks, other than the people here in the thread. What is it that we can do to get more people involved? Because remember, for 81 hours, we're going to be taking calls, we're going to be hanging out, we're going to be doing all these things. So we would love to find a way of getting people involved in the world record, right? And then say, oh yeah, well, I'm absolutely into it. Here's how I think, or here's the time slot that I want. Here's what I think we could talk about and everything else. So we'll be looking at that and figuring out exactly what we have to do to bring home the world record of the longest. It's going to take 81 hours to win, thus the 81 to win. It's going to take 81 hours of live call-in in order to be able to bring the record home, and that's what we intend to do. I think we're going to launch it now on my birthday, June 2nd, as you know. We were about a month out, a month and maybe a week out from doing it, and my doctors put the brakes on that. Just said, yeah, no, why not? If you're going to do it, why not win it? If you do it now, with just this little bit of recovery time from your last brain surgery. If you do it now, you're going to fall asleep, right? Within the opening, 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever they think it was going to be. So we're going to listen to the good people at the Columbus Cranium Shack. And when they say, look, why don't we postpone it, give you a little bit of time to recover from your surgery, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to do just that for all those people that say we never listen to the doctors. Well, now you know that we do, and we're postponing it. So thanks for Matt Connerton for putting up the new clock, not giving up on us. But we will, in the very first week of June, be bringing home the Guinness World Record. Rita, nice to see you. Thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. Don't forget this evening you can give us a call or a text if you're so inclined. 833-MIND-UPS, 833-646-3877. And, of course, if you're going to text us, you can punch in the number or punch in the letters MIND-UPS, just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups. Give us a holler. Let us know what you're thinking, and we will go from there. Of course, tonight at 9 o'clock, Lee Rowley from Sales Copy Academy, from Copy Branding. You know him from all over the place, and big hit over on Instagram as well. He'll be here for another, it might be like episode 11 or 12, I'm really not sure, but he'll be here for another version of Copy That Speaks, so we're pretty fired up about that. And then to let you know, this coming Sunday, I think tonight is Thursday, therefore our last night this week, we'll be taking Friday and Saturday off. Then come Sunday, we will be back at 7 o'clock with Matt Connerton for Sneak Speak. We're going to be able to go over everything that happens here on IPM Nation, including Counterpunch Media, everything that happens here throughout the week. And then at 8 o'clock, I'm told Derek from Derek Noel Fitness, DNF, damn near flawless, as I like to think of it. He'll be joining us at 8 to check in, see how I'm doing with, the push-ups, the squat thrusts, all the rest of that stuff he's got me doing. He'll be tuning in, or joining us, I should say. He'll be joining us at 8 p.m. this coming Sunday night and taking your questions. There may be things that you think about throughout the week, and you go, oh, how can I do this? How can I do that? Is there any truth to this? Is there any truth to that? He's a really funny guy. He's got a history in radio and really knowledgeable when it comes to the physiology of the human body. So he'll be with us Sunday, coming up, I guess, in about 72 hours. Is that how you do it? He'll be with us Sunday going over some of the things that, some of the hoops he's got me jumping through. And I'm hoping that by listening in, using me as the crash test dummy, right? Not a stretch, I know, right? Using me as the crash test dummy or the Petri dish, you can go, well, yeah, let's let Brian try it out. And if that doesn't kill him, then maybe I'll pick up some of Derek's advice and see what he thinks. So we'll be doing that Sunday night. Rita, hearts to you as well. I know you and Henry have got a pretty big day coming up here pretty soon, as a matter of fact. So I'm hoping to get you guys to call in and tell us a little bit about it here, maybe the beginning of next week, so that we can let everyone else on it, or let everyone else in on it as well. All right, getting back to Shane's comment where he says, yes, I do, right around the midsection. We were talking today over on Facebook and Instagram, I think probably on Twitter as well, that life, you look at it the way we talk about it, life really is one giant, it's like, not unlike, I guess you could say, a giant piñata. And you just have to have the courage to grab the stick and give a swing, right? You just have to have the courage to step up to the plate. I know I'm mixing metaphors there, but I'm not much into sports. But mixing metaphors of stand up to the plate, give it a swing, head for the fences, and make sure you crush that piñata. And then what happens when you do? All the candy, all the goodies, all the things that fall out from the center of the piñata, they're yours when you mortal up. They're yours when you begin to focus on the fingerprints of providence, right? The synchronicity and the serendipity that we talked about. The chance occurrences, the meaningful coincidences you hear about all the time. Well, what if they're all around us? What if they're bubbling up like a gazpacho around us? But we're so busy with our fears. We're so busy with our bucket list and our wants. And what was it? The poet Carl Sandburg said that hope is like an echo. It bids you yonder, yonder, yonder. Well, what if we're so busy with all of our hopes, all of our wants, all of our carrots at the end of the stick, that maybe, just maybe, we don't see something right in front of us that could very well be a fingerprint of providence, that could very well be the very next piece in the jigsaw puzzle that is Rita, that is Shane, that is Tim, or Candace, or Heather, right? Or Jamie. Or Darren. What if those pieces really are bubbling up? And, right, all you got to do is look at the quantum physics of it and you go, yeah, it's weirder than it seems. Well, what if our lives could be that way? What if we're so hell-bent? What if we're just so focused on creating something that we're really not sure we'll ever be able to experience? But then we go, no, in this particular moment of all of time, as you know, cue the sump pump. That is a good sound effect. I have to tell you, Wayne, you did a good job. That, and let me see this one. Here's another one you might think is good. I don't know what that is. Yeah. There's got a lot of water in that toilet, I'm thinking. Oh, can I just play you one other one since I know Lee's listening? Yeah, that's the monkey chatter. Yeah, that's what I play. That's my phone ring. My iPhone now, whenever Lee calls in, it's a monkey chatter, so I know that's him with the phones ringing from across the room. Bart said, "Starch your collar." What's wrong with my collar? Oh, I guess it is down a little bit. Sorry. It's funny. Starch my collar. Are you wearing pants? That's another great question. And see, Tim, you could have texted that in, but yes. Can't get my leg up over, but yeah, you can say I have pants. Believe me, I've thought about it. You know what I mean? Because you could come back here in boxers. You could come back here in shorts. And I think probably for the 81 to win, it could be questionable. Matter of fact, one of the things that we're working on is being able to change the sponsor shirts every hour. So I have a little setup where I have like one of those, am I allowed to say Japanese screens? Or is Shepard Smith going to accuse me of culturally appropriating tomorrow? I don't know. In any event, one of those screens from somewhere over there off the West Coast, little keep just moving west, little more, across the Pacific, those screens. Well, we're going to set up one. Bart has no pants. It's fair game. That's wrong at so many levels. But okay, thank you, Sarah, for sharing. Bart has no pants. Shane says, hey, that sounds like my family reunion. Well, or Shane could have said, man, that sounds like a type of family reunion I'd like to hang out with. But in any event, we're going to have one of these Japanese screens, and I'll be changing shirts for the different sponsors through each of the hours right behind that screen. So there may be some time, Tim, comes where I'm not wearing, and it's going to be in June, so it's going to be warm, I'm told, here in Columbus. Right? Maybe I will be wearing shorts. Yes, that's what we need. You have to change outfits every hour. Start with a clown outfit. Oh, listen, the clown outfit. We're not far from that, Tim. And also, we'll be doing one of those inversion chairs. So I'll be doing a part of the show hanging upside down, right? Different perspectives. So we'll be doing that. Start with a clown outfit. Well, I'll just start off with my normal self. That'll cover the clown outfit. So thank you, Tim, very much for that. And I should also make mention of my favorite. Where is my favorite cup tonight? I must have left it. Oh, I had my drink before I came down. That makes sense. But my Yeti cup, thank you so very much for that. Again, Tim, I use it every single day. Patricia says, wow, the internet is crashing. Connectivity is snapping. Well, I'm sorry about that, Patricia. It says the signal is good here. So, Wayne, if you're still with us, unless your internet is crashed as well, could you let me know if you were having any trouble with the signal or how that is playing out? So I'm sorry about that, Patricia. Right? Who knows where it is anymore with this? You try, and all I know is that we've turned off absolutely everything that could be getting an internet signal from anywhere else. So it may not be at this end, but who knows how that works. Now that I say that, let me check one more time. Audio mixer. So, okay, we'll go here. This is great. So I'm going to play word association games with Wayne. Audio mixer. Let's see exactly what he might be talking about here. So you go to window. All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm there. Audio mixer. No, everything looks good there. All right, Wayne, I don't know what that's about, but okay. So if you're having trouble with internet, again, my apologies. It says we're getting a full signal out here, but who knows? And especially in this weather, it's pretty stormy outside as well. All right. So what we wanted to talk about this evening is what does it take to develop the courage of the stick, right? What does it take to develop the courage of going after a piñata and swinging for the fences? And it has been my position all along that courage comes when you mortal up, when you remember who you ultimately are and what you're here to do. No procrastination, no making excuses, right? No waiting ultimately to have some kind of perfection. But what are you going to do right now? In this particular moment in all of time, I am sure my dependence on FI, so is Fios is the problem? I don't know. Is that an internet? Fios? All right, someone let me know, Wayne, if we're having any other connectivity problems, please let me know. Send me a text, as a matter of fact, because right now oh, look at that. There we go. Let us see what's going on. Oh, here's all primates matter. All right, thank you, Lee, very much. Let me get another one of these. Okay, Lee sending in another picture of a hairy mammal. So I would love to know how this started. Just to let you know, to kind of get him back, the other night I sent him a picture. I go, I missed the pre-production meeting of exactly what we were talking about, but I sent him a picture of the Monkees, the 50s band. 50s or 60s, maybe early 60s band. So I said, yeah, that's a sad tale of what happens when you don't hit the production meeting. When you said Monkees, I automatically thought of the group, and he automatically thought of all the hairy primates. Mike Warren from BioPro, nice to see you. How are you doing, sir? I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Hope all is well with you and your family. Of course, your dad. Thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. We're talking about life as a piñata. And really, all it takes to break the piñata and make sure that you get all the goodies is to remember who you ultimately are. And what if, just what if, those goodies come in the form of pieces of a puzzle, that if you and I aren't always busy trying to get somewhere else, if we, as I say a good bit of the time, magnify the moment, light a candle as a psalm, appreciate all that you are right now, what if there's something to that? And what if all we get are signals? You know, I saw this picture the other day. No broadcast problems indicated. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter all showing good signals. All right, Patricia, maybe it is a little bit of internet at your end. I'm sorry about that, my dear. But Wayne says from the Counterpunch Media Control Studios somewhere in Michigan. I just know it's cold where Wayne is, somewhere up north in Michigan. No broadcast problems. Everything is going good. So, Patricia, my apologies if it's something that happens outside of our little signal here. But what we're talking about is magnifying the moment. What we're talking about is what if those little pieces of the puzzle are all around you, spread out everywhere, but we're so busy focused, right? Like, you've heard of that before, where if you go into a dark room and you shine a flashlight, you only see where the flashlight beam hits. Well, what if metaphorically we're all in some big dark room and the only thing we see is what we're shooting for, what our goal is, what our bucket list, what our carrot at the end of the stick, what our hope is, what our, what our wants are. But then all around us is the actual bag, right? Is the actual jigsaw puzzle, the actual fingerprints of providence that are saying, okay, cool, this might be a step that you want to think about right now. This might be a step that you might want to look at right now. And instead of being always called outside of this moment, it's kind of like, it's been a while. I think I may have told you the story right after my recovery from my initial 2 surgeries for the brain tumor. I went out for a jog one day, and I ended up finding like 79 cents. Just, and I went on a 10K or something like that, and I found like 79 cents on the ground. Most of it, I think there was 1 quarter, a couple dimes, and a nickel, but most of the rest of it were pennies. So it made me think for a second that people seem pretty flashlight selective vision. Thank you, Shane, very much. Shane says, Patricia Costello, must be all those championship rings causing the interference. I did love that commercial, Shane. I don't know if you saw it, the football players all diving after the football on the floor, and Brady takes off all of his Super Bowl rings and goes, hold these, right? He's got 5 of them, I guess, at the time. Patricia says, well, I am in love with my Patriots. Well, there you go, Patricia. Congratulations again. But what we're talking about here, Shane says, flashlight selective vision. Well, what if just outside our flashlight selective vision, what if they are all these pieces of the puzzle that you and I could then, in the moment, fit together and go, here's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Right? I'm grateful for the pieces of the puzzle that are presenting themselves right now in this moment, in all of time. Don't need any more being called outside of this instant, of this present. And I know it's a little cliche, but people say, oh, the real present is the present. But what if that's true? What if it's not just a funny little play on words? What if everything you've ever needed, which I believe is true, everything you've ever truly needed, you've always had, and that you're more of a detective now in trying to look around you, like I said, with the magnifying glass, trying to look around and figure out exactly what are the fingerprints of providence that I'm to be taking advantage of in this moment and all of time. Good evening, Henry. Nice to see you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us here at All Natural Being. Hope everything's going well with the books and the writing. And I had mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't know if you were on, but we know you and Rita have a big day coming up soon. So maybe one day, beginning of next week, you guys can come on. Give us a little idea of what that is. I don't want to, I don't want to give out any breaking news that I shouldn't. So that's all I'm going to say is it's a big day, and maybe you guys can come on and tell us all about it. But here now in our closing 5 minutes, I'd really like to go back and finish kicking this around a little bit. What if, think about this. You're out in the middle of the wilderness. And it is true that you'll have a compass, right? I used to have a compass line all over the place here. You have a compass and you go, okay, well, I take my compass and here I have a map and I'm going to triangulate and I'm going to, who knows where the compass is? Oh, yeah, clean the set, right? I used to know right where they're hanging. Now I can't find a damn thing around here. All right, clean the set's too busy. Yeah, all right. So much for those consultants. Well, in any event, you have a general idea of where you want to go in the wilderness, but you have to pay attention to every foot strike. You have to pay attention to exactly where you are in every moment to even get in the general ballpark, right, of where you want to go. So what if that time in nature was a good bit more instructive than we ever give it credit for? What if that time in nature of, okay, well, you got to watch this here. There's a root there. There's a hole in the ground there. You don't want to twist your angle here. You don't want to, end up hitting your head on a low tree limb because you're busy looking off over here. You don't even see the branch that catches you. Well, what if life is set up the same way for you and me, right? What if we're supposed to pay attention to this particular moment in all of time? Has that ever happened to you? Do you have an example of a synchronicity? Patricia says, living in the moment with your best focus on what you need to go forward is in your reach. Absolutely agreed, Patricia. Shane says, it's like seeing the forest for the trees rather than the big picture, or however it goes. Absolutely with you, Shane. And all I'm saying is maybe you and I, instead of focusing on the big picture, right, we could focus on the little picture. What's the little picture? What is it right at hand that you and I should be paying attention to? Has that ever happened to you? A synchronicity, as Carl Jung, I mentioned last evening, I think Carl Jung used to call them, or the serendipities, or the chance occurrences, or the happenstance, right? The flukes in life. And you go, how the heck did that just happen? How is it possible that those two confluences in all of time came together in this particular moment? Well, what if all we are is one big skin bag of confluences? And all we need to do is to be cognitively astute, just to be intellectually intimate enough with our surroundings to be able to go, oh no, that's a little, I could use that. It's like a big scavenger hunt, right? In this particular moment in all of time, but you don't know what it is you're looking for until that particular moment. And then it pops up and it goes, oh, look at that. I think I could use that. Or maybe this, maybe I'm supposed to learn this or supposed to learn that. I think that's the brilliance of the synchronicity, of the serendipity. I absolutely know it's the brilliance of being born in the labyrinth. I say, beginning of every show, the ups and downs, the lefts, the rights, the pivots, the swerves, all of it, right? The flukes, the whims, everything in one big cauldron. What if you and I are so busy paying attention to the big picture, as Shane calls it, we don't focus on the little picture, teeny, tiny, teeny little picture. And maybe when we focus on the little picture, everything just opens wide for us. I don't know, just a thought. Heather says, always focus on the small picture and the rest will fall into place. Heather, I could not agree with you more. Thank you very much for that. So that's what we were going to talk about this evening, right? Is the serendipity, the synchronicity of it all. And that maybe you and I can spend, and here's the thing, as always we say, right? Our closing minute, as always we say, 20-minute victory. Right? 1/72nd of your day. All I'm asking for is tomorrow, take 20 minutes out, set a timer on your watch, on your phone, whatever. I mean, if you even wear a watch anymore, phones or this or that, and unless you're in the need of having to wear like a really expensive watch to let everyone know that you wear really expensive watches. But other than that, I think most everyone else uses a phone. I don't know for sure. But in any event, set your timer for 20 minutes and go, okay, for 20 minutes, I'm going to see if Brian knows what he's talking about. For 20 minutes, I'm going to focus on the fingerprints of providence at hand. And I promise you, I guarantee you at the end of the 20 minutes, you're going to have a smile on your face that you will not believe. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Wayne is telling me to watch the clock. So I figure, why don't we watch it? We can watch it together until Sunday night when we see you back. Matt Connerton and I will be here at 7 p.m. Eastern for Sneak Speak. And, of course, 8 o'clock, we'll be back Sunday night. And then tonight, here in about a half hour at 9 o'clock, will be Lee Rowley and Copy That Speaks. So we're very fired up about that. Okay, let's do this. We'll watch the clock together. So see, Wayne doesn't think we can do it anymore. 8:29:31. And now we're supposed to go ahead and roll the closing music. As Wayne said, the heck with YouTube. I'll go ahead and fight them when they keep saying, oh, that's copyrighted. Yeah, when I own it, you dimwit. All right, thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. We'll see you back in a half an hour for Lee Rowley, Copy That Speaks.
IPMNation.com.